Hi, welcome to Tilico Vima English. Today we're going to be talking about the topic of misjudging others. Misjudging others. Have you ever been misjudged? Has someone jumped to a conclusion about you too quickly, or they just caught you on a bad day and you were trying to make up for it, but they had already put you in a certain category? And from that point forward, it seemed that everything you did, everything you said was going through a filter you didn't ask for, and probably a filter you didn't deserve. Well, today, live on YouTube, we're going to be recording this now, and it's with short notice, which is kind of my MO, right? But with short notice, with whomever comes in from our community and whoever drives by and pops in, we're going to be discussing this important subject of misjudging others. There are parts of it where I'll be reading from my little prompter here with our slideshow. And of course, this will be accessible to you afterwards. So if you come in late, you'll still be able to watch this largely unedited. I don't think I'll edit it, but we'll see what happens. Welcome, welcome. Come on in, guys. We're talking about this topic right now about misjudging others. And you're welcome to come here and just listen, or you could actually participate if you want and give us some chat. Let me look here and get this set up so I can see the wonderful chats going on without too much getting in the way. Let's see if I can jump there this way. That's not the way to get there. Or go back to the live. There we go. Hi, guys. Welcome. Good to see you. I think this is the one. There it is. Now I can see everything going on. Well, cool. Well, welcome. If you're here just to listen, we're going to be talking about this topic, misjudging others. Misjudging others is a common human tendency that can lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, and even missed opportunities for meaningful connections. It often happens when we rely on first impressions, stereotypes, or incomplete information rather than taking the time to understand a person's true character, their true character or their intentions or the circumstances. Again, like I talked about, um, understanding someone's character takes time. You might meet their personality at first, but getting to know their character needs to be proven or demonstrated through circumstances and situations. So it is very important when you're interacting with people to realize that my watch is alarming. Where would we be without these little things going on? Hi, welcome. Today we're talking about misjudging people. So, misjudging people is because you don't take time to get to know their character. Have you ever met someone who your first impression was that they weren't someone you wanted to be around? But as you worked with them or interacted with them, you thought, wow, this person is actually pretty cool. Well, I've had situations like that where I've been at work for almost a year or more, and there was someone who was just very bitter all the time. When I was around them, they feel like they drained me. Have you ever met someone like this? When you spend time with them, they feel like they're draining you. And after a while, I started talking to people about that person. I know, but I do it. I do it. I have done it. I'm much better at it now, not doing it. Ah, nevertheless, when I was talking with that person about how ironic it was that that this person comes off a certain way. They mentioned to me that this person had had a traumatic situation in their life, a very traumatic situation in their life that affected their whole family. And knowing that one component that I hadn't even considered made sense to me why I was seeing the person I was seeing. I had misjudged them instead of giving time to get to know them or even inquiring about them. And it happens to us, and sometimes we do it to others. So we're going to be talking about that today, misjudging others. One major cause of misjudgment is cognitive bias. You may want to write that down. Cognitive bias, one cause of misjudging others. Our brain's tendency to take shortcuts when processing information. Do you have a shortcut brain? Does your brain take shortcuts? Mine does sometimes. I'm like, no, go long, don't go short. For example, confirmation bias leads us to interpret new information in a way that supports our existing beliefs. Check that out because we have cognitive bias. It leads us to feel that we're actually gaining information that supports what we believe, even if those beliefs are incorrect. Another factor is emotional influence. If we're in a bad mood, we might assume the worst about someone's actions. Now, I know this has never happened to you, but sometimes my filter for the day is in a different place. And it seems that the things around me are adding to it. Let me give you an example. Has your day ever started in a way that you're like, things seem to be going wrong? Some of you would just turn into that and say, it's going to be a bad day. It's just going to be a bad day. And then everyone you encounter seems to add fuel to that. They make it a bad day. And you're like, I knew it. I knew it was going to be a bad day. Instead of just realizing that you have a filter that's going through your mind and the things that you see are causing you to feel that the day's worse and worse and worse. And within moments, it only takes a small thing to help you start making conclusive statements like, nothing ever works for me. What's going on? And so, misjudging others, misjudging situations, resenting that people are misjudging us. This is what we're going to talk about today. And you guys are welcome to ask me things in the chat. We can respond to that. But I have some information here that I'm going to go over slide by slide. We teach English fluency online, so this could be helpful for listening. That's why I'm slowing down because I realize a big part of our community is made up of people who are trying to refine or develop their English. And so I will go slower. If you guys need me to go slower, just type something in the chat. We're talking about misjudging others. Misjudging others can have serious consequences. In personal relationships, it can create unnecessary distance and conflict. In professional settings, it might lead to under evaluating or undervaluing someone's skills or potential. In society, it contributes to prejudice and discrimination. So, misjudging. Well, how do you avoid misjudging others? How do you avoid that? Well, you need to take time to get to know that person. And getting to know that person, you'll be less likely to misjudge them. So, misjudging others comes when you jump to conclusions or when you have a bias that is not substantiated. And let me see if I can open the door. Hey, oh, you're prepared. I don't even realize when I lock it sometimes, it's automatic. So, have you guys ever misjudged someone before? And that's what we're talking about today, misjudging others or having that bias. Sometimes it can be a filter from your family. Your family has said that, for example, everyone with a mustache is going to treat you poorly. I know it sounds kind of humorous for now, but that could be the bias that you've had bad experiences with people with mustaches. And so, from every time you meet someone and they do something slightly wrong, you think, see, everyone with a mustache is always going to act that way or be that way. So we have to take time to recalibrate, time to consider that we might have a bias in there and give people a chance to demonstrate their character, right? Would you like a chance to demonstrate your character? I know sometimes I need it. I've transferred from company to company location, and sometimes when I get there, people get the wrong impression of me, or they hear that I have been in certain roles in the company before and they think, here comes this guy. he's going to come in and try to take over. So that's not the case. But after a while, they seem to get to know me and realize that's not my agenda. Misjudging others. To avoid misjudging others, it helps to practice empathy. Empathy. Do you know the difference between empathy and sympathy? Empathy is like you can feel what they're going through. Sympathy is like you have a comprehension. You can imagine what they're going through. Whereas empathy is like, man, I feel you. I know I've had a similar thing happen to me. So having empathy for others means that, let's read this. Um, ask questions before forming conclusions. Inquire about them and be open to changing our perceptions. Taking the time to listen and observe without rushing to judgment can lead to better relationships and a more understanding perspective on the world. Don't jump to conclusions. There's an expression, be the friend that you want to have as a friend. So treat people as you want to be treated first, and then as you get to know them, you can treat them as they want to be treated. I'll say it again. Treat people the way you want to be treated first. And then as you get to know them, treat them the way they want to be treated. These are some little keys that can help you to have a better relationship with other people. And also, if you are known for doing that, then you're likely that other people will say, hey, give him a chance. I know he comes off that way at first, but give him a chance. And you might see that he's different than what you're thinking right now. Wouldn't that be wonderful to have another chance when people jump to conclusions? Have you ever experienced a situation where you misjudged someone or were misjudged yourself? Have you ever had that situation? How does that feel? How does it feel to be misjudged? Well, think about the other person. So if they'd gotten off on the wrong foot, you had the wrong impression, or maybe you thought that they were something and they turned out not to be, you can even confess it to them. You can take them aside and say, hey, man, I have to admit, when I first met you, I thought you were gonna be like this, and it turns out you're actually pretty cool. So if you felt that vibe from me when we first met, it's because I thought you were going to be that way. Misjudging others can get us off on the wrong foot, right? So we don't want to be misjudged, and we shouldn't practice misjudging others. Hi, welcome. I see you. Well, that is our opening topic for today is as far as misjudging others. If you've ever been misjudged, go ahead and text me something right now and help me to see what you're dealing with or what you have dealt with. How did it feel? Or are you quick to misjudge other people? It happens to a lot. Like a lot of people are coming into the live stream right now and they're just popping in and popping out. And they're jumping to a conclusion. They're asking themselves, is this worth my time? Well, that's a good question to ask yourself because we are so conditioned to watching hyper visualization, to watching people entertain us, that we make a quick conclusion. Is this going to be entertaining? Is it going to make me feel good? Or is it going to make me think? Did you hear that? Is it going to make me feel good? Or is it going to make me think? Now, think about that. When we're swiping away at social media, we feel like we're thinking, we're getting the core of some information, some hack, some life lesson in 30 seconds. And we might feel good about the information, or we might watch a prank or watch a fail video or something, and we're laughing. But just 5 seconds later, we want more. We want more. We want more. We want more. And this conditioning through social media causes us to give other people less time to prove themselves. Are they going to make me happy? Do they have something worth offering me? Is it worth 20 or 30 seconds of my time to get to know them? Think about it. Think about it. So when I see the numbers up here of people coming in and going out, coming in and going out, I think I'm not meeting that criteria. Now, part of me feels good because I feel like good because I'm not here to entertain, I'm here to help. So I don't really want the people who are on dopamine mode where they're just swiping to find things. I want those people who want to understand this information because they've been misjudged, or they feel that other people, or that they've been misjudging other people. And so when I see that number go up and down, it plays with me a little bit. I have to confess. Part of this is my challenge because I do this the last minute. I saw activity on our YouTube channel, and I thought, let me check that out. Let me see what's going on. Maybe I'll go live. But they're watching other things, or they're interested in other things. So if you've ever been misjudged, or you've misjudged others, that's what the information was that I just shared with you on the slides. And now we're open. As people come in, they might have questions, they might have a comment. I should change this from top chat to all chat, live chat. There we go. That way I can see what you guys are trying to say when you pop in. Maybe I'm not seeing it. And let's see. I should schedule this better tomorrow. Concurrent viewers.